I guess the first thing I should do is offer you a fried bologna sandwich.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Fried bologna. Yeah, that was a little running gig. I remember. Not that I ever ate fried bologna. I don't think I did.
I guess it doesn't show you on camera actually having to eat the sandwich.
No, I don't. I don't think I remember. Did I eat it on
No,
camera?
you don't.
No, I didn't.
Was that something that was
I,
scripted?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because I do like to work with food. Over the years, I've gotten more comfortable with eating and stuff like that. I was doing the show Blue Bloods for a while, and I was eating a lot on the show, and I was getting better at it, like hot dogs and pizza. Because there's something to eating on camera.
Right.
Um, it it's interesting. It's interesting. It's like but it takes practice to be comfortable in the character eating. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And then we're
Yeah, yeah.
seeing
Like if
you.
you watch, huh?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say James Gandolfini, the guy who played Tony Soprano. I used to love watching him eat on The Sopranos, and it was great. I don't know, there's something, it's you have to use it. It's sort of an activity.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. I took an acting class when I was a young guy. It was sometimes you had to bring in an independent activity. So yeah. Anyway,
We're seeing you
did you
here,
did you
and
like the movie?
I did. I thought it was really great. It was action packed. So I don't think anyone had a chance to like breathe for a second or like sit, it's always the edge of your seat for the entire film.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I just started to watch a little bit of it, and I it looked like a lot of fun. I just have to, I was trying to watch it on my phone, so I can't enjoy stuff on the phone.
How was Doc originally described to you?
You know, um, it was not described that much. It was more or less we discovered it in the doing of it, and I kind of like eccentric guy. Maybe they used the guy from Back to the Future. I don't remember the reference, but it's just sort of like was in the more of the less in the moment. And I think when you're doing like a cameo or a small part like that, sometimes because you're not in the whole movie, and maybe you hear somebody's vision of from what I remember. I don't remember that I knew that much about it, and some better to discover things like that. It was like the job I did in Black Klansman. I didn't know much about the movie or anything, and then became a good character in a good movie. And more or less, just I had no expectations in my head, and I just was like, okay, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I wound up doing what I did. And sometimes the discovery is better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you have a bigger role, you have a bigger arc, you kind of not plan things, but more or less you have more of a like a something that's like not I'm gonna say cameo, but a smaller role. You're not in the whole movie. You don't know the tone of the whole movie. You only know what what you bring. So it was a fun part. I remember it was a fun role, and they seemed like a bunch of groovy guys that have done stunts, and
Oh yeah.
you know they kind of had yeah they kind of had their own thing.
Did they give you kind of a backstory then on how Marcus and Doc knew each other originally, or how much of a connection they had from the past?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they kind of gave me like that there was a relationship that you kind of looked up to him and stuff like that. And, all that stuff helps because it's good to hear the backstory. It's good to hear the history because then you could make up in your mind, you could make up in your mind what that is, so that there is a connection. So that helps, a lot of times, people will tell you, or a director or whatever, they'll tell you, So, I do believe they did. Yeah. It was a while ago. So, I can't remember. I can't remember everything.
You work in a lot of movies. What can we say?
Yeah. I mean, I've been around, for a while, and I've done a lot of different roles and bigger movies, little movies, a lot of these little movies too that, you don't know if they're ever going to come out, if you're ever going to see them. So it's nice when a movie does come out and you go, oh, wow, yeah, now I could tell. If it's good, I'll tell somebody about it, If it's not very good, I won't even say anything. People go, well, I saw you in this thing. I go, oh, really?
Doc has the trademark Nicholas Turturro snark to the role. Was that something you added as well, or was that something that really interested you when you read the script and made you want to be a part of this?
Nick Turturro snark. What is that?
There's a little humor, humor to the character, a little balls chop, like a little busting of balls to it and things like that.
I think that's what I think that's how I interpret things. I think I always look at things from my side, and then there's a way that I'm not saying everything, but I think I can always find some, even in dark stuff or even dramatic stuff. I find humor in things. Sometimes I find more humor. It depends. But I think I always can, and not that I'm looking for that, but I think it's just me. It's just me that I tend to kind of do that. And because I think it could be dramatic, but it could also be funny, and something could be very funny too when you are dead serious, and I've seen it, and I'm sure, if you're seeing it in that, I've seen it in other roles I've done too, where it wasn't funny on the page, but the way I delivered it or the way I did it, came across funny.
That's
I like that. I take that as a compliment. Yeah, I mean,
you should.
Yeah, I do, because not everybody does that. People, they just give you their straight. They're kind of bland.
Oh yeah, flat reading.
Kind of vanilla. Yeah, and I mean, if you get me, that's what you get. You get somebody that could be, dramatic, and he could be also funny. You know what I mean? And that's what I bring. You know what I mean? That's what there's stuff that I've developed over the years, but also just naturally, have those kind of, chops, and I kind of have, tapped into them. So, people might say, well, hey, you made it way funnier than it was. And I'm like, well, isn't that your job?
That's right, to bring your own take to it.
Yeah, bring your own take. And it's, it's just like, who knows? And like even with these auditions, like, on Zoom and this and that. And then when I watch myself, a lot of times I do laugh. I kind of like, it's hard to watch yourself, but I remember when I was doing NYPD Blue, and this woman, Susie, she was the script supervisor. If there was playback and she showed me some playback, because on the playback, I would always like see things or learn things, and I would giggle a lot too. And I played a straight guy on that show. They didn't even allow me to be funny. Not that they allowed, but I'm just saying they never gave me like that kind of
humor.
They never really, yeah. And I would go when I watched and she'd go, it's funny, you get a kick out of yourself. And I go, yeah, I do. Sometimes you just laugh at you. That's how I look. That's how I sound. You know, it is kind of interesting.
You're a part of social
That
media. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm part of it. I'm kind of known on Twitter. I'm a fanatical, like insane, not insane, but crazy baseball fan.
Yes.
I truly am. Yeah, yeah, and I really love the sport, and I loved one team, but I love this. I love the game too, and so I have a lot of dialogue with people on Twitter. It's basically other stuff. Now I do talk, and I've done some stuff on TikTok, goofy stuff. We have a TikTok star who lives here now too, so he's a huge TikTok star. My cousin, who he's been with me over 20 something years, has kind of blown up, and he's very, very famous right now, called White Claw Gabe.
Ooh, okay. Do you enjoy the feedback you receive to the work that you do on there? Not just, of course, interacting about different sports and, socialization. Do you enjoy getting feedback to the work that you've done over the years through social media?
Yeah, it's nice that, they recognize that I'm not just a baseball fan for 30 years. Because a lot of times, like my son will say, like, like, you're really, really famous as an actor, but you're known as a baseball. And I'm like, it's kind of ridiculous. And then someone goes, oh, by the way, you did great work in this. And by the way, you did great work in that. So it's not, they don't know me as a crazy fan, that I've done something.
I have a body of work
for a long time. And you have a body of work, and some of it is pretty good, and so it's nice when people go, by the way, you're an actor, you're terrific in this, or I liked you in that. And no, that feels good. I like that. I like when somebody in the New York Post wrote about me about the other day, and how the Yankee manager, they said he's been known with his rants, and the guy said, he's a very fine actor. The guy in the New York Post, and so that was nice that he didn't refer to me as just. He did say I was a must watch, so that's nice. I have kind of a cult following. I would say that. Yeah, it's kind of funny that I, now people, like, if I don't give them a video and I just give them words, it's not they want the rant and. And I'm like upset sometimes about the game, and I'm not even getting paid for this. Maybe I should be getting paid for this,
Yeah, we got to get you an announcing gig.
The other day, I got mad at my wife, and I blamed her. I said she jinxed me, and guilty about it. So yesterday, I was trying to be nice to her, and I was like, because like when I'm upset and I'm watching, like, I don't want people to say anything. I'm very superstitious.
Very focused and serious about the game.
Yeah. And that's what I do with anything. And that acting, I mean, I give it I always give it my all. I always give it my, one thing. I never phone it in, and I don't phone it in as a fan either. So I'm not that guy. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
So what's it going to take for the Yankees
hit a home run?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's it going to take for the Yankees to get you to throw the first pitch at some point?
Yeah, well, as much as I rip them, I don't know if they're gonna let me throw first. They did in spring training. They don't show me a lot of love. I think I'm too outspoken. I think I'm not corporate enough. I root for like the wrong team. I root for a team that's like, too corporate. They don't, even though the fan. So, and that would be nice if they recognized me and maybe listen to me a little bit. I actually think I have something to offer them, but it's their loss. You know, it's just like when somebody don't hire me, I go, you know what? They went with this guy, whatever.
Mhm.
That's fine. It's their loss.
Amen. What
Yeah.
would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the wonderful work you've done over the years?
I'd like to say thank you. I appreciate the support and all the love, and I really do. I'm a fan myself of a lot of things, so I kind of I appreciate it. I really do. I mean, I never take it for granted, and I still, you know, it feels really good that you know people, you know, like you. People, not everybody's gonna love you, not everybody's gonna like you, but for the most part, I've gotten a lot of love. I've gotten a lot of you know, wonderful compliments from people that have said, you know, you're really, really underrated, or you're, you know, you should be do more, you know. So it's not love that I've gotten on the street is way more gotten in the industry. um, and that to me is great because from my peers, you know, people said, you know, you don't realize what you've done. And a lot of times I don't, because I can't remember like most of my life anymore. I'm like, I don't know, I'm almost 60 and I can't remember squat. So it does feel good. And I do appreciate that, you know.